What a year it has been. We've gone a long way from a fresh surge at the start of the year to this season's frenzied year-end activities. We all have a reason to celebrate. We made it here, and now we can look forward to an even better year ahead. And what a year it has been for the Philstar Media Group as well. This year, Philstar sped up its expansion to digital, now telling more stories in new ways to an even wider audience. What was this year's journey like for the Philstar Group? What can we look forward to in 2023? Let's find out how one of the country's leading media groups continues its strategic growth from print to multimedia platforms. Lucien Dy Tioco is the Executive Vice President of the Philstar Media Group. Having been with Philstar for over 20 years, overseeing sales and marketing, Dy Tioco has always led the group with a future-ready strategy. Let's hear from him firsthand what their 2022 journey was like and what's in store for the Philstar Media Group next year.
At the beginning of the year, we were really excited and challenged at the same time because we were coming from the reels of the pandemic where things at the end of the year last year, things were starting to open up. But it was kind of going through and stepping backwards. That's why in terms of planning, there was really an impact on how gung-ho we are in terms of really pushing an effort for 2022. There were three objectives that we wanted to achieve for this year. First is to strengthen our print business. Coming from the 2 years of the pandemic, print really suffered a lot, and it was really time for us to bounce back in terms of strengthening print. So that was the main strategy of the Star in terms of really making efforts in pushing print ads and other print endeavors. And second is sustaining our digital business. We started our flagship website 2 years ago with Philstar Life. That was a challenge that the team has had during the past year, where we could really further strengthen the following of Philstar Life. And third is thinking of new ways how to innovate. And part of this is introducing an advocacy which we call Nakakalocal, which is really supporting the SMEs and at the same time trying to encourage the consumers to buy local. And other initiatives that we have done is trying to create a more effective way of distributing our content. Part of the pivot that we did during the pandemic was really trying to introduce online shows. And Business World really capitalized on that in trying to gain the audience that was somehow gave a limit in terms of reaching out to the business community. So that's when we started creating Business World Insights, which is really a series of web shows. And for Philstar, we also introduced a lot of lifestyle shows through Philstar Life. And it really did well, that considering that we have a huge following, over 7 million on Facebook, we were able to capitalize on trying to reach out the audience through our online shows. Philstar Life is a creation during the pandemic. We started it in October 2020. We did a different approach in trying to create content for lifestyle online. As opposed to our print lifestyle section, which is really more on focusing on fashion and food and travel, Philstar Life focuses on the daily conversations that surfaces every day, the trending topics, trending places that people usually talk about. So it's basically about conversations that are chronicled every day. And with that formula, Philstar Life was really able to catapult in over a short period of time with a huge following of, by now it's already like 3 million followers. The challenge this year actually is towards the latter half of the year, where we felt more compelled to create events that are more physical than online, since the behavior has changed, that now that people have started going out, the time spent on online has been less. One of our strategies that we did for the year is really trying to conceptualize an advocacy that would really make an impact to the country. And Philstar, being a huge media group, felt more compelled in supporting the SMEs. And the way to do that, as you know, that there are a lot of already a lot of companies, a lot of organizations supporting the SMEs, where is the challenge of us being able to help them. And the best way for us to help the SMEs is really through publicity. So we wanted to support SMEs in such a manner that that would give them enough attention, given that the online space is so cluttered and attention is really fleeting. And we would be able to do that by giving them publicity. So that's when we created Nakakalocal, which is creating the much needed publicity for our promising SMEs who could have the potential of growing big. And we did that by selecting 36 SMEs, by giving them $500,000 worth of publicity and support through our physical events. And at the same time, trying to encourage consumers to buy local. And because if you buy local, you're actually supporting the national economy. And that is our way of really trying to make an impact in terms of really pushing the nation forward at this time of the opportunity for recovery. So we're happy to note that Nakakalocal was launched successfully. We made a lot of SMEs really happy. And what is really so touching is a lot of corporations and organizations came to fold and support Nakakalocal. I think it's really the first time from a media entity to really support the SME in a different light. And with that, we were able to create a little ecosystem and trying to connect our SMEs for a lot of opportunities, from tech, from opportunities to be physically present in the various malls, acquire a lot of business learnings that would help them grow their business, and a lot of so many things that we're planning for the rest of the year for Nakakalocal. For 2023, we're looking forward to bringing Nakakalocal to different regions. This is giving the opportunity of our chosen SMEs to have their products exposed in different areas and thus create newer opportunities for them in trying to expand their business. I think the really challenge of the newspaper business is really trying to convince people that there's really still a market here for print. There are a lot of readers that still buy the paper, and the challenge that we focused on this year is really try to make the newspaper more accessible to them. As you know, it's even if you want to buy a newspaper, the next question is where you want to buy. So that's when we created Philstar Go, which is a subscription service that helps the readers connect easily through their phones by subscribing online while having your paper physically or on e-paper. Personally, part of my highlights that I had during the past year is really trying to focus on the team. I have a transitioning team that is entertaining more young people and into the fold. The coming of the Gen Z is really making an impact to the company in terms of how the direction of the company will be going. For me, I regard this as an important year in terms of the company being able to pivot towards the next phase of growth. Second is, in terms of our efforts, Nakakalocal has been one of my personal triumphs. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for the last few years since the pandemic began, and in trying to encourage the company how we can help and create an impact to the community. And I'm happy that we did Nakakalocal. For 2023, the Philstar Media Group really has a lot of things that we want to do. For one, We started Philstar Go, as I mentioned, as a subscription service, but it's going to grow into something else. Second, we also launched World X, which we're really excited about. It's an online content service that provides you the paper, our accessibility to business world events, and other learnings that the business community needs, such as the metaverse, cryptocurrency, and other business trends that you'd like to know more about. And third is we're excitedly going into more events next year. And what we're really excited about is organizing the Truth Festival, which is really an attempt to spread the good word about discernment of information through an arts and culture festival. 2023 is also trying to strengthen our content on TV. Back then, we were the first media group to introduce a lot of TV shows. We intend to bring it back by introducing a couple of shows, extending the Modern Living series with Limitless Living, which is focusing on the lifestyle of the seniors, that it's not as gray as you think it is. Second is trying to still champion the nakaka-local cause by having its own TV show. With the nakaka-local TV show, it's really trying to showcase the talent and ingenuity of the Filipinos in terms of creating businesses that make some impact to the different communities and the opportunities how it can grow globally. Late this year, we also introduced Multiverse.ph, which is really focusing more on Web 3.0. So it's talking about the next wave of the internet as we know it, and it focuses also on cybersecurity, cryptocurrency, NFTs, and what have you, and all the new technologies that would be having an impact on the way we do business and the way people consume things. That's the very thing that the Philstar Media Group is very focused on in terms of the ongoing digital transformation that our business will be able to leap through these next set of technologies that with in the newer form of providing information on the next wave of digital, Philstar Group will still be able to still fly. I think for the past 35 years, we always give our 200% energy. We're always excited at the beginning of the year, and we always manage to finish strong at the end of the year. That has been going on, and that energy never ceases to fail. And in terms of our content, expect the same credibility and reliability that we provide every day. So for 2023, expect a lot of surprises and delight from the Philstar Media Group because we will be introducing a lot of initiatives and events that would really give value to our audience. In the next wave of the digital transformation, the Philstar Media Group will still be able to provide the news and information and content, valuable content that our audience expects.
On the road to pandemic recovery, the truth is that the Philstar Media Group is prevailing in its expansion from print to multimedia platforms. The group closes this year with a string of successful endeavors, proving that print is here to stay, but its role is changing for the better. And in 2023, we can look forward to the Philstar Media Group leading the industry in its reinvention like a real guiding star.